I am Berdhanya, and today we're gonna see Earth from a different point of view. We have studied Earth from the geography aspect. We have studied the climate. We have studied the different dynamics and history and movement of the Earth, but very seldom we have addressed the subtle anatomy of the Earth. What are the chakra points? What are points of energy? What they gather? What make us sacred sites? What are they? And how they contribute to our well-being? How they relate to each other? So it's a lot to cover, and we would like to start by saying that in those centers of energy, that the energy is created by two strong polarities, the male and the female aspect, or the positive and negative aspects, start to create a very powerful movement that creates some kind of spiral, and that spiral can go downward or that spiral can go upwardly, and also can expand in diameter, and that create a site where through centuries and through different cultures they have spotted to construct cities, to construct temples, to construct sculptures, to be in the main plaza of a place, or even to host certain events in history like a war or celebrations. So they are all over the planet, and those vertices, depending on where they are, they can create certain flavor, and that flavor is really breathable by anyone who is around, all the people that lives in that vicinity. And those vertex, we can call it chakras, they are not only determining the flavor of the place, but they also are connected to each other. So all around the Earth there are rings and flames and currents that connect each other, and they take turns in what the information is being in exchange. So when those centers are in harmony, then the whole planet is in harmony. And obviously right now they are trying to harmonize themselves, and they are trying to find really more clearly what is their identity of where they are.
I'd like to choose the one, Lake Superior.
Yeah, so tell us about Lake Superior. Where is it and what is your experience in that?
Well, it's a specific site actually. The whole area is very, very powerful. It's like a sea and like an ocean. There's waves like the North Atlantic. If you're canoeing, it's very dangerous. But there's specific places. There's one called Agawa Rock, where it's an ancient site, a sacred site where the native people used to do vision quests. I've noticed that they started again after many centuries. They've started reactivating it. It's a specific site. It's an ancient volcano, and it's also where two faults meet.
And usually that's the case when when rivers meet, or
well, it's a portal.
Yeah.
Any old volcano is usually a portal. Although it's ancient, like millions of years ago, you can just see where the lava flows were, in between the granite. And the granite is the oldest, hardest material apart from diamonds. And where we are now we're on granite, the Canadian Shield. It's like the bones. If you scrape down all the skin off the earth, and then the softer stones like the limestone, you get to the bottom, you get to the granite. And
so if you have to see that place with your oracle vision, how it looks like right now?
It's a double spiral. There's a spiral like a cone, shaped like it. The spiral itself looks like a cone. And there's a spiral going down, and then there's another spiral coming up. So it has that.
So it's like forming two pyramids, one above and one below, forming kind of the tetrahedron.
The tetrahedron, or the Star of David. Although the angle looks more steep. It's more than a 60-degree angle. It's a little.
So it's more sharp.
It's a sharper angle.
It's a sharper angle. Yeah. And that lead me to the part where each power center, first of all, they have to have certain balance between earth and sky to become a power place. And also there is a radio that it grows depending on the earth will, or the earth communication, or the earth sustainability. Those radios in the power centers grow and grow in a very geometrical part, making radios bigger and bigger, creating not only all the chakras in that place, but it could be the whole entire lake, depending of how expansive the radio of that tetrahedron is. So now you have been there many times, and that's where you make your personal quest. What is the main feeling that being there evokes for you?
Just sense of it's a sense of awe, ancient, deep stillness, a kind of quietness that's so loud you can hear it vibrate. very different power than, say, the Pacific or the West Coast.
It says more the stillness.
It's older, more ancient. It's deep. It's like we're really close to the bones of Earth. When I first went there about, I don't know, 30 years ago, it was there, but more dormant. And over the years, perhaps with more prayer or ceremony there, it's opening.
So
to the point it is now, where it seems to be reactivating itself.
And it is interesting to see also that each of any power point that either form a chakra or a marma, it has three qualities, or one of these three qualities. One is one that is structural, like you're saying here, it's like bare bones. It's like the foundation of something that you go there and you feel solid. You feel in deep contact with something that is ancient. And then there is centers that are more expansive, where the energy just either go above and below, and the radio is larger, and it has, the movement is more rapidly, and then have the tendency to expand. And other centers they neither create a structure no expansion, but create creativity. It brings the origin or the inspiration, like in certain parts that we have visited, that everybody is an artist, everybody is creating. You go there because there are some power points where the inspiration just come to you. It may be attributed to, oh, it's the tree, it's the sea, but really is one of these formations, some kind of combination of tetrahedrons that make that flavor. So obviously to go there is if you are looking to look for profound peace, for some kind of stability, for some kind of security. What is your experience?
I was saying it's not a well-known place. Other sites in North America, like Sedona or Mount Shasta, there's always
but it's also if there is solidity in it, it means that particular tetrahedron is connected through all the nadis of filaments of energy through the rocks or the water that are connected to the marma or chakra points that need solidity or are part of the structural aspect of Earth. So it's not, the chakras and the marmas are not independent spots. They are all connecting each other on Earth to create certain kind of a network of a structure, if we can put it that way. So the whole Earth is embraced with that information, with that flow. And I guess in times when, let's say, if humanity is going through something, agitation or something, those centers, they may have a little bit more radio in their site, so producing more information about solidity or structure or something that aid the balance in the planet. So it's not an isolated place, but when you are there, you are really connected to all parts of Earth that have the same kind of attribute. And what you say about the tetrahedron is also important, because we need to remember that we activate the tetrahedron, or the tetrahedron is activating its full presence when the heart of the human is in the center. When the connector, the bridge between the earth and the sky is in the center. That's why either the ceremony or the meditation or just a mindful presence in those places create the flow in our own tetrahedron and in the place itself. So it's a way that ancients used to activate and be and extract the energy and give back to energy when they were part of the formula of the power place. I mean, there's no power place without humans.
And well, in the north where we are, it's there was nothing constructed by man, or maybe there was, and eons ago, and it got all destroyed with the earth changes. But these places are completely wild, natural. The stones, the grandfathers and the grandmothers, you see the granite cliffs over the water, and it definitely structures.
And when they're not, I mean, that's one of the danger of modifying the landscape. Even
they're unmodified.
Yeah. But when we remove just one rock, that rock is part of the configuration of the geometry of the place.
Yeah.
And of course, our current intervention on different sites, you know, we see a power site and then we put a tourist place, and you know, we're not able to be so conscious that you are the temple inside a temple, and that you are the activator of that temple, and that you don't need to take anything from it, and you don't need to build any church or museums or tourist traps or anything. You are just being there is enough, and that hopefully that awareness of using the energy of earth to be in your well-being don't need to destroy or modify it.
It's a privilege to go to these places, and we always go. We bring something, you know, something that represents the respect or, you know, reverence for that, for the spirit of the place.
So Matthew, if you again lead us in some kind of journey or meditation where we can be at that place, or in a way make the transmission of what you have experienced and what I know what it comes, because your vision is so much in the now. Would you like to do that now?
Sure. So take a deep breath. And exhale. Put a sound on the exhale, like all the tension leaving. And again, vibrate out a sound. Oh. continue. So imagine we're at that spot on the edge of a great, great lake, a great body of water. And we begin to ascend. And we see it from higher and higher. And it becomes smaller and smaller as we look down. And we continue to ascend. And above us, there's a circle of light, like an explosion of light. And we enter. We enter through that portal. And we see the earth as a tiny sphere within a much, much greater sphere. And then above us, there's another opening. It looks like a big, kind of shaped like a daisy with the center dark and the petals around it, the petals of light. And we go through that to another portal. And we see the stars flashing all around. And we go deeper into that world. And then as we emerge upward, there's a being. It's a frog. Some type of a frog being. A humanoid, but shaped like a frog. A frog prince. And he wears a crown. And now we go up a stairway. And there's a being with wings. It looks some kind of light being, angelic being. And then we ascend higher and higher with this being. And then we come out into that spot by the lake. The granite mountain by the lake. And we feel energized. We feel our cells vibrating. And we give thanks to this place, to these guides. And then we return to our now, fully back, whole and complete. So be it. So
thank you, Matthew.
So every place has a certain resonance or a certain tone.
And our place now have a tone.
every place has a and
very rare we have this one, but
so it's through when we find the right tone, we connect with the place, you know. Everything started with sound, with resonance.
I feel very, very moved, and what it was interesting was that when you started, I was locating myself in that place, but as the guides took us to kind of a different dimension, when we arrived to the dimension of the actual heart of the power of that place, it was a complete different experience. It was more moved in the heart, and it felt my definition of a structure change, because it's not the structure that I was imagining or the power that I was imagining. It was through the journey that something else arrives.
We have often no idea what's there.
Yeah.
And when we have to abandon all concepts, you know, And then we're not just trying to fit ourselves to what we think. Rather, we're being freed to actually transform.
Yeah, so to enter the portal or something is just to be so innocent and simple.
Yeah.
And not to have any belief system like, oh, okay, now I am going to a power place and I need to go there because I want to feel a structure or secure or grounded. You may find something completely different, and here was just the heart. It was just pure heart.
And all our sense of up and down and right and left, it's all just makes no sense.
Yes, everything.
We appeared to go up. You know, we appeared to go up out of our reality, out of our sphere, to get to the bottom, which was really, you know, the top, and we emerged back from the point we left, but from a different direction.
Yeah, and how these beings so much are kind of our brothers and sisters that are giving us information as we give them information, and that's what opens the heart, is the sharing with things that or beings that we did not suspect were there. And
well, we've had the frog prints.
Yeah, we have experience with those before, but I mean, I never thought that place will be part of that other experience, and that's what I was telling, that one PowerPoint is not isolated. It connects to something else.
Right. And also
through time and space.
Maybe that portal is what all these beings use.
Yeah.
You know, like when they go into dormancy in the north, they're coming out, awakening in the south, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's through these places that they travel. You know, these portals like that.
And really, they are the only ones who knows where they are. Like some serpents, we see that in the fall, they all go to one place to be together and spend the winter in a bundle.
Right. We've seen that where there's one day we were up on the mountain somewhere, and it was one snake after another. There were like highways all leading to they were all following a certain cue, you know, it's time.
Yeah.
And they all go in one crevice deep in the earth where they can stay warm, and they form a big...
Yeah, and that probably is a marma point or a something that is connected to a larger chakra that sustain them.
Right, and that's something about like the serpents, like that, the snakes, is now as the days are colder, that they're already retreating. Mm-hmm. And if not, they've formed, like, they lose all their individuality. They become one being, you know.
And that's what happens when people visit those power places. They all become like a church or a temple, or in the New Age they gather, you know, the Burning Man or things like that, but they bring people together to lose their individuality. Mm-hmm. And if you are holding on your individual self, you may feel triggered in those places, or some kind of transformation goes through that, because those places oblige or invite us to be in a state of collective where we can our own uniqueness contribute to an energy path to all the earth. So it's important to know when you go to those power places what is the request, and that you do have certain information to give, and there are also some information for you to receive, and is in the not individual level. Well, Matthew, it has been fascinating to travel to the lake, and I hope for you guys have been also as fascinating as for us, and we are looking forward to have you again in our next class on living on Earth.